JC Sharma, Vice Chairman and Managing Director with Sobha Developer, joins us now. Mr. Sharma, if the GST goes to 5%, and let's say if it happens in this month itself, will demand start picking up in a proportionate manner?
I believe that as far as this rate reduction of 5% is concerned, it may not materially improve the demand. Rather, it may have some adverse consequences of the cost going up for the developers, since the input tax credit will not be made available. And in India, if you look at the big picture, the most of the homes currently which are being sold around 5,000 rupees per square feet. In that scenario, not allowing the input tax credit and having a kind of a composition 5% GST rate may not materially alter the demand scenario. Rather, we would prefer other way of looking into. The main purpose of the GST was that the input tax should be absorbed, and the rate of GST, which currently stands at 12% for the luxury homes and 8% for the affordable homes, if they are being brought at par at 8%, the benefit of 3 to 4% reduction in the GST will get transferred to the customer's benefit, and that way the demand may increase and the prices will also correspondingly come down to the customers.
The builders have a different view, but a home buyer would say if GST comes down from 12% to 5%, I save 7%. So this move is great news for me.
And I think it has to be understood in the context that today all the developers, they are taking an input tax credit on the cement, which is still at 28%, the paint you take it, steel you take it, the labor cost you take it, everywhere you are paying 18% to 28% input tax credit in your construction cost. And if this needs to be absorbed as a cost, at some point of time either the developers will be reducing their margins. In any case, if you look at, their margins are not that great. We are talking about in an overall scenario. So the 5% reduction will be some kind of an optical benefit the consumer is rightly entitled to think, but when it comes to the costing part, you will realize that it may cost more if you follow universally this 5% of the composition tax. You have a point only where the apartments are being sold, say at 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 rupees a square feet. In that case, definitely the 5% benefit will be great to the consumer, but that market size is significantly small when we look at the average realization of the real estate prices in India.
Sharma, because of this GST rate confusion on whether or not it's going to be reduced by 5% or not, are you seeing, are you missing out on sales in the interim period?
Not at all. See, this demand for the homes, it is organic. And if you have looked at our performance operationally and that of others also, in the last couple of years, the emphasis had already shifted from luxury homes to affordable homes of smaller sizes, post 60 meter square becoming the new norms to qualify as an affordable home. So when you are talking about providing housing for all and affordable homes to our customers, somewhere the benefit needs to be passed on. Government has already made it clear that okay, they will reduce it to 8%, and it has helped us to improve our volumes also. So going forward, this kind of a focus which has been there for the affordable housing, if it continues, I think it is going to be a good development, and developers should be given both the options, 8% with input tax or 5% without input tax, to ensure that the demand is not affected at all.
Fair enough. Give us also a quick sense on how you're looking at the demand supply scenario play out. Do you see things changing on the ground?
See, as far as we are concerned, we have looked at our 2018 performance versus 2017, where we believe that we have grown 18% in the last calendar year. When you look at from the financial year point of view also, we are likely to go comfortably at double digit. So we believe that the consolidation and the consequent benefit of that on the demand, it should continue its momentum. We are also worried about the election related some kind of uncertainties, but at the end of the day, right now what we believe that the supply side constraint is clearly visible. If a customer is looking for a home, they have got now not many choices and the prices are right, interest cost is still low, and that should help 2019 to even do significantly better than what has been achieved in 2018 as far as volume growth is concerned.
Right. Also wanted to understand, after a decline in the last 4 straight quarters, one is finally seeing your average realizations improve by 10%. What's the kind of guidance that you could give us? Are we going to see a consistent improvement coming in, or would you say that this was an aberration? And also, what would you attribute this improvement in realizations to?
See, the new launches, whatever we have been doing, those new launches are fetching little bit higher realization per square feet. The price erosion, whatever it was happening in the market, more or less it is gone. And going forward, in our case at least, our per square feet realization will keep improving along with improvement in the volumes in the 2019 is what we strongly believe in. And this is, again I repeat, is because of somewhere we are seeing supply constraint may not be visible because lots of projects are still being seen as being offered to the customers, but constructions not happening or going at a slower pace means the wise customers today are going towards buying homes either if it is completed or with the reputed developers only.
Right. Talk to us about the impact a player like Sobha will face if GST cuts do come through. I know you've given us an overarching view on how this impacts the sector, but could you be more specific about how prepared you are for such a shift in regime?
See, we are currently operating in stable margins and we are prepared even in case presuming that tomorrow you have got a 5% regime and it optically helps the customers to go for buying more homes. We are prepared. Well, we should be able to preserve our margins also, and we should be able to ensure that the volume growth what I am talking about double digit in 2019, it should continue. But we will be more happy. And we believe that in case of a GST regime, the input tax credit must be allowed to all the developers with a reduction in the GST rates. If that happens, definitely it will be a great opportunity for us to market our products with more confidence and aggressively, because this 4% saving may bring huge amount of benefits to the other set of buyers who do not fall under that affordable housing category.
Okay, and so you believe that over the course of FY20 one can be optimistic about how things will shape up for the real estate space, that things are only going to look up from here?
We remain reasonably optimistic because what we have seen in the macro environment, the way the office space absorption, the way in the IT sector job growth is back, the way we see the improvement or increase in the salaries with low inflation and low interest rates, all such things, they do augur well to revive the housing demand. At this point of time, primarily the customers are in two minds and they are somehow differing because they are being told that this is not the right time to buy. Despite that, you have seen volume growth in the last couple of years. Going forward, the demand pipeline can only increase, and this should help good developers to launch more number of projects and sell more. In our case, we launched 3 million square feet of new projects in the last quarter. Another 5 million square feet is there in the pipeline, and in the drawing stage also another 5 million square feet of new project launches we are working, keeping into mind that 2021 should be a significantly better year for our sector with the kind of uncertainties what we had gone through, making this sector much more consolidated and viable both to the developers as well as to the customers.
Okay, Mr. Sharma, pleasure speaking with you and glad that you could take time out.
Thank you.